Okay, percentages. So what's 3% of 200? That means 3 for every 100, so it's simply 6. What's 4% of 700? That basically means 4 for every 100. 4 sevens are 28. But what about this? What about 2% of 600? 600. 2 for every 100. 2 sixties are 12. 3% of say 611. Now what I would do here is to multiply the whole number by 3. So 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3, 3 sixties are 18. Now if it had, which is not the answer, if it had been 3% of 600, then the answer would be 18. So common sense tells us that the point goes there. So it's 18.33. If you have 5% of 730, then I would do 5 times this number. 5 noughts are naught. 5 threes are 15. Carry 1. 5 7 are 35, so that's 36. We could actually put underline and divide by 100, but I often go straight away, so it's 36.50. Suppose you wanted to increase something, to increase, say, 200 by 3%. There are 2 ways of doing it. First, you could find 3% of 200, which is 6, and then 200 add 6 is equal to 206. But another way, when you want to increase by 3%, is to multiply by 1.03. This method is particularly useful if you're using a calculator. So to increase 200 by 3%, you do 200 multiplied by 1.03. So if I was doing that, I would double this number first of all. So that's going to be 602. And in fact, common sense, that's the answer, because once times 200 is 200, so this must be 206. But this method is particularly useful if you've got a calculator. If you want to decrease by, say, 10%, so we'll decrease 200 by 10%. So it will be 200 multiplied by 0.9. That will make it 10% smaller. If you multiply by 1, suppose you have 200. If you multiply by 1, it stays the same, so it stays the same. If you multiply 200 by 1 and a bit more, it will make the answer bigger. If you multiply by 200 times 1 minus a piece, as it were, the answer will be smaller. So you're decreasing. So in this case here, forget the point. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 2 is 18. And we mustn't forget that point completely. There's 1 decimal place here, so there'll be 1 in the answer, so the point goes there. So the answer is 180. Now you may be saying that in this particular case, find 10%, which will be 20, and subtract, which will be easier, and that would be quite correct. But in an exam they might ask you, by what do you multiply by to increase by, say, 12%? To increase by 12%, you'd multiply by 1.12. To increase by 27%, you'd multiply by 1.27. To decrease by 1%, you'd multiply by 0.99, hopefully with a calculator. To reduce by 20%, you would multiply by 0.8. Okay?